Hi GCO, and welcome to today's instalment of our book, How to Train Your Dragon. Now, purposefully left you on a bit of a knife edge last time. I wonder if what's going to happen now is what you predicted was going to happen after I left you. Let's see. The Nada's head suddenly whipped around to face fish legs, its yellow cat's eyes snapping into focus on the boy. It unfolded its wings to their greatest extent and stealthily advanced, like a panther about to spring. It opened its mouth wide enough to show its forked dragon tongue and "Run!" shouted Hiccup, grabbing Fishleg's arm and dragging him away. The boys ran for the exit tunnel. Fishlegs and Hiccup were the last two to get there. There was no time to pick up the torches, so they were running in pitch dark. The basket with the basic brown dragon in was bumping on Hiccup's back. They had at least a 2-minute start on the dragons, because it took a while for the first dragon to wake everybody else up. But still, Hiccup could hear a furious roaring and flapping as the dragons started to pour into the tunnel after the boys. Dragons can move more quickly than boys because they can see easier in the dark. But of course they got a bit held up when the tunnel got smaller. They had to fold their wings to squirm through. "I haven't got a dragon," panted Fishlegs as he scrambled behind Hiccup. "That," said Hiccup, "right now is the absolute least of our problems. They're coming." "No dragon," said Fishlegs stubbornly. "Oh, for Thor's sake," snapped Hiccup. He thrust his basket into Fishleg's arms, grabbed the empty one from Fishleg's back. "Have mine then, wait here." Oh my goodness, he is a good friend. Hiccup turned and went back through the narrow bit, even though the roaring was getting louder and closer by the second. "What are you doing?" said Fishlegs, dancing up and down on the spot. Hiccup rushed back through the hole again precious moments later. Fishlegs grabbed hold of an arm to help haul him through. They could hear a horrible snuffling as what sounded like the nose of a dragon entered the other end of the hole. Hiccup bunged a rock at it and it squealed. They turned the corner and suddenly could see the light from outside the end of the final tunnel. Fishlegs went first, but just as Hiccup was kneeling down to follow, a dragon pounced on him with a flap and a shriek. He hit it. It fell back enough for him to crawl towards the light. He still wasn't safe because another dragon, or maybe the same one, sunk its fangs into Hiccup's calf. He was so desperate to get out, he dragged that dragon through with him. As soon as his head and shoulders were through into the light, there was Gobber. He grabbed Hiccup under the armpits and hauled him out. "Jump!" he yelled as he stunned a dragon with one blow of his mighty fist. "What do you mean, jump?" Hiccup hesitated as he looked down into what was a massively dizzying drop into the sea. "No time to climb," said Gobber. "Jump!" Hiccup closed his eyes and leapt off the cliff. As he plunged through the air, the dragon that was attached to his legs released its jaws with an indignant squawk and flew off. Hiccup was travelling at such speed, by the time he hit the water, he didn't feel like water at all, more like something extremely hard and painful, and so cold he nearly passed out with the shock. He spluttered to the surface, amazed to find that he was still alive. Shrieking furiously, the remaining dragons swarmed out of the cave and dive-bombed the floating Vikings. Hiccup pulled his helmet down, just as far as it would go. There were horrible scraping sounds as dragons' talons raked across the metal. Another one landed hissing on the water right in front of Hiccup's face. It took off again with a screech. It felt how cold the sea was. Must have been one of those warmer ones that is a bit like baking bread from the last part of the story. The dragons didn't feel like flying through the snow though, and with relief, Hiccup watched as they flew back to scream terrible dragon insults in Dragonese from the warmth of the cave entrance. Gobber started to pluck the boys out of the sea and threw them onto the rocks. Viking boys are strong swimmers, but it's difficult to keep afloat when you have a basket full of trapped and terrified dragon on your back. Hiccup was the last one to be saved. Just in time, he thought, as the cold was beginning to put him to sleep. Well, at least it wasn't death, thought Hiccup, as Gobber grabbed him by the neck to rescue him, nearly drowning him again in the process. But, to be fair, it certainly wasn't the glory that they were expecting either. Okay, so we're going to leave it there. I wonder what dreadful insults in Dragonese would actually look like or sound like. I have no idea how to write Dragonese. Maybe you want to write some for me and send them in, because I would love to see them. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend. Happy Friday. And Miss Cooper will carry on reading the story for you next week. We'll be on chapter 3, which is called Heroes or Exiles. So over the weekend, you might want to think about what that means. Take care. Bye.